Stephanie Leonard has had a number of different careers in her lifetime. If you were to visit Mount Olive United Methodist Church in DeSoto, Missouri on any given Sunday, you may not know that the woman preaching from the pulpit wasn't always a pastor. At one time, she had a successful career in advertising as well as a career in IT. But you may be more surprised to learn that she is a decorated Missouri National Guardsman who served in Iraq. Stephanie was working in the advertising industry in the late 1980s as a media buyer when she decided to serve her country and state as a member of the Missouri National Guard.
I actually felt that there was more to life than what I was doing. I wanted a real challenge from life, and I felt the National Guard would help me sharpen skills I already had and give me a whole new skill set.
At the beginning of the war in Iraq, Chief Leonard was working as a public affairs specialist. The Army was looking for units to document the history of the Iraq War and specifically record what was happening on the ground. The Army tasked the 135th Military History Detachment of the Missouri National Guard to provide the qualified personnel.
We knew that the realization is that the order would come from the Center of Military History for us, and that's exactly what happened. We were on their short list to be deployed to Iraq. Our mission was to cover the history, military history as it was happening. And at that time, it was something that was really outside the box.
Chief Leonard's unit was assigned to cover the 3rd Corps Support Battalion.
They were in charge of everything that moved in and out of Iraq at the time. That was our mission, to go everywhere they were, to tell their story, essentially.
Chief Leonard was in Nasiriyah, Iraq on March 23, 2003, interviewing the commander of the 507th when they were ambushed.
As I was speaking to him very late at night, because it was a very difficult interview to get, we started to get shelled. Things are starting to draw a little bit closer and closer. I very politely say to him, "Sir, may we please move off of the flight line because of all the shelling?"
The ambush was the start of a 7-day battle that resulted in the loss of 11 U.S. Marine lives. After her time in Iraq came to a close, Chief Leonard was surprised to hear that she was going to be awarded the Bronze Star.
The Bronze Star was awarded to me for meritorious service. I was raised to be a humble soul, not to really put myself before others.
Chief Leonard was the first woman in the Missouri National Guard to receive the Bronze Star.
I was really shocked that I got it, but it was honestly for doing the absolute best job that I could.
Because she had been embedded with the 3rd Corps Support Battalion, Chief Leonard saw a need for a safer and more efficient way of using transportation assets for moving equipment and personnel out of Iraq and back into Kuwait.
There were a lot of assets moving in and out of country that were empty. And I said, why can't we have these transportation assets simply help us refrad, move back to Kuwait, rather than waiting on another transportation company who can serve another mission elsewhere.
She presented the idea to her commanding officer.
And I said, you know, sir, I know we're not going to be in this country forever. And I have been giving a lot of thought to how we are going to echelon ourselves and our equipment back into country. I really didn't see a safe way for us to do that as a cohesive unit. So rather than do that as a cohesive unit, I broke us up into smaller bits and pieces and sent the personnel back first, the equipment next, and myself last. The sweetness of it all is that the National Guard unit from Ohio, a transportation unit, were the ones who actually moved all of our equipment back to Kuwait for us.
Chief Leonard has always had a love for history, and specifically Missouri's military history.
Those of us who ignore our history are destined to repeat it in some form or fashion.
She enjoys researching about Missouri's role in the Civil War and the many battles that took place in the Show Me State.
There is much to learn from our history, from our military history, from our state's history. It is very rich. I look at history as ordinary people doing extraordinary things during some unsettling and/or extraordinary times.
Chief Leonard describes her contributions in Iraq with the tone of a humble soul.
Ordinary person during extraordinary times trying to do something just to get herself and her unit down the road.